Hey, let me start with a very basic question. If someone asks you what exactly BPO is, can you explain it in one or two sentences? Most people can't, and that's exactly why this video is important. If you're planning to start a BPO or a contact center, or even just exploring this industry, you must first understand what BPO actually means without complicated definitions or textbook language. So in this video, I'm going to explain what BPO is in simplest way possible using real practical examples. And make sure you watch this video till the end because the last point will decide whether you build this business the right way or waste time chasing the wrong things. So what does BPO actually mean? BPO stands for Business Process Outsourcing. In a very simple terms, BPO means this. A company gives part of its work to another company so it can focus on its core business. That's it, nothing complicated. For example, a company in the US may be very good at selling software, but they don't want to spend time hiring staff for customer support, billing, or back office work. So they outsource that task to a BPO company, often in countries like India, the Philippines, or Africa. Let's take a very practical example. There is an e-commerce company in the US. They sell products online and focus on marketing and sales. But every day they receive customer emails, chat requests, written questions, and delivery follow-ups. Instead of building a large in-house support team, they outsource customer support to a BPO. That BPO handles calls, emails, and chats on their behalf. Another example you already experienced. Think about banks, insurance companies, or telecom providers. Many of them outsource customer support, document verification, KYC checks, billing, and data processing. When you call customer care and that person is not sitting in the same country, that work is usually handled by a BPO. So BPO is not new. It has existed for decades. Now in our fourth point, let's understand what front office and back office is. BPO work generally falls into two categories. Front office BPO includes customer calls, chat support, email support, appointment scheduling, and lead qualification. Whereas back office BPO includes data processing, data entry, billing support, payroll processing, document verification, and accounting support. You don't need to do everything. Most successful BPOs start with one service and one type of client. In next point, let's understand who actually uses BPO services. This part is very important. BPO services are not only used by large corporations. Small and mid-sized businesses outsource businesses too. For example, dental clinics outsource appointment scheduling, staffing agencies outsource resume screening, real estate companies outsource lead follow-ups, e-commerce brands outsource customer support. So the demand is not limited to big companies. Hey, quick pause here. If this explanation is helping you understand BPO better, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. It helps this content reach more founders like you, and it motivates me to keep creating simple, practical videos like this. Now let's continue. Now in our sixth point, let's understand why BPO is still a strong opportunity. Many people believe BPO is dying, but that's not true. What's changing is how BPO works. Companies still want cost saving, they still want 24/7 support, skilled teams, and flexibility. But now they prefer specialized BPOs, not generic. We do everything companies are not the ones they are preferring now. If you understand what BPO really is, you can position yourself correctly from day one. And now the most important seventh point is what BPO is not. BPO does not mean getting ready clients from brokers. It does not mean paying deposits to agents. And it does not mean waiting for referrals. BPO is a service business. Clients work with you when they trust your process, communication, and reliability. That's why getting this foundation right matters so much. Hey, by the way, if you need any help in international client acquisition, business development, marketing, or sales, you can reach out to me. My contact details are mentioned in description. Now let's continue. Now let's understand who should start BPO. You don't need a massive office. You don't need hundreds of employees. If you have basic infrastructure, stable internet, communication skills, and clarity about services you offer, you can start small and scale gradually. In this business, clarity beats size. So if you truly understood this, you will stop chasing shortcuts and start building your BPO the right way. That's where most of the companies fail. Now, in this video, I will take you a leave and I will see you in the next one.